What's good, YouTube? It's Darren the Bowtie Fragrance Guy on the channel where fragrance and fashion matter. Listen, man, if you're going to be out there smelling great, you might as well look great as well. Tom Ford once said that dressing well is a form of good manners. So I want to add an addendum to that. Dressing well and smelling great is a form of good manners. So listen, man, if that sounds like your kind of deal, you like to look good and smell great, then hey, this may be the channel for you. Why don't you consider hitting the subscribe button? And listen, also make sure you click that bell icon as well so that when I upload new content to the platform of YouTube, YouTube will notify you that a video has been uploaded. Yeah. So on today's list, we're going to be talking about, look, I got a short list for you today. I got 5 fragrances in my collection that I consider to be some kind of, I want to use the word sexy, intoxicating fragrances, if you will. But these fragrances are great performers as well, and they're going to cut through this cold weather. Look, even where I'm located here down south, it's been being pretty cold, you know, and I'm kind of happy about that because I get to really have been getting to pull out some of these heavier fragrances that are great for the cold weather. And I just so happen to have 5 on this list today that are great for the cold weather, that have that intoxicating vibe, and it's going to cut through these really cold days that we've been having. So if you want to see what's on the list, man, you know how we get down. Keep it locked right here. All right, guys, we're back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked, man. Let's go ahead and jump into this video. This is going to be short and sweet, but I had to give you guys this list, man. The first one up on the list today comes from the house of Christian Dior. This is their private collection. I don't know the exact name of the private collection because they keep changing it, but I think it's called the La Collection Privée, if I'm not mistaken. Ooh, how fancy that is. But the fragrance that I have on the list today, man, from that private collection is this, and this is Feve Delicieuse. Feve Delicieuse from Christian Dior. Man, listen, just pause the video, go get you a napkin or something like that, because if you're anything like me, when I start reading these notes off, I start to drool sometimes, all right? This is a mouth-watering lineup of notes in this fragrance, man. It has sour cherry, it has praline, it has tonka bean, it has vanilla, it has caramel, it has cacao, there's a milk accord, pause, and there's sandalwood in this fragrance as well. I mean, come on, guys. What's not to like about that lineup of fragrances? So, if you love a gourmand, do yourself a favor and put your nose on Feve Delicieuse. Now, I want to say this while I'm here too as well. If you love the note of honey, I would also add Allure from the private collection of Christian Dior to this list as well. Now, that one really is going to cut through the cold. This one is a little bit more sexy. Now, that honey is sexy in Allure as well. It kind of reminds me of Back to Black by Kilian, but it's a lot more of it's a spicier fragrance. It has a host of spices that kind of surrounds that honey note. Sexy nonetheless. But anyway, Allure or Feve Delicieuse, any one of those will work. They cut through the cold and they are very sexy and intoxicating. All right, guys, now the next fragrance on this list comes from the house of Parfums de Marly. I feel like this fragrance has kind of lost some of the attention or the lure that it had. I haven't heard much about it as of late, but doesn't change the fact that it's still good. From Parfums de Marly, this is Carlisle. Carlisle. Talk about another fragrance that's intoxicating. Oh my gosh, and sexy for the cold weather. Another one that has vanilla, that has tonka bean. There's a beautiful opening of green apple, which is actually absolutely gorgeous in this scent. Oh man, this stuff is good, guys. It's good. It's really intoxicating. People are really drawn to this scent when I wear it. They just really, I always get that question, man, what is that you have on? This one works, guys. It works. So check it out from the house of Parfums de Marly again. And like I said, with the other fragrances on this list, it's really going to cut through the cold weather. From the house of Parfums de Marly, again, this one is Carlisle. All right, guys, the next fragrance on this list comes from the house of BDK Parfums, and this is called Rouge Smoking. Rouge Smoking, man. Listen, when I really want to be on my stuff, and just do something that's really just gonna kind of change the game and blow their minds, I will wear this stuff right here, man. Rouge Smoking. This thing is, you talk about sexy and intoxicating, that is this right here in a bottle. I don't pull it out that often because, again, it's kind of one of those secret weapon fragrances for me because it's such a unique fragrance, man. You have heliotrope in here, you have vanilla, you have cherry in this as well. Beautiful opening of cherry. Again, just a sexy fragrance. And again, for me, I do about 7 sprays on this. Cuts right through the cold weather. So check it out, man, from the house of BDK Parfums. Again, this one is called Rouge Smoking. All right, guys, now the next fragrance on this list, this one comes from the house of Atelier Dior. And this is simply one of the best vanilla fragrances I've ever put my nose on, but this one is called Lune Feline. Lune Feline. And my gosh, does this thing kick behind when it comes to performance. The vanilla is sexy, man. It's kind of a smoky vanilla fragrance. Not to mention the fact, I'm sorry, real quick intermission, the bottle is super cool. Look at those flakes. All right, now back to the fragrance. So again, this one, sexy, smoky vanilla, intoxicating, smells absolutely fantastic. I can do 3 or 4 sprays of this and I'm good to go for the day. And again, this one is going to work. If you want to draw some folks in, you want a fragrance that's going to cut through the cold weather, something that will have them caught up in your sea eyes and your scent bubble, check out this stuff right here, man. It's absolutely sexy and gorgeous from the house of Atelier Dior. Again, this one is called Lune Feline. All right, guys, and last but not least on this list, I'm going to show you the fragrance and I'm going to say one word from the house of by Kilian. This is called Back to Black. Back to Black. And this is the only reason that I didn't put Tobacco Allure on this list, because to me, this is still the king of honey fragrances. They say that you can catch more bees with honey. I think it is more fly. Whatever it is, it was something like that. You can catch a lot of bees with honey, I think is what it said. But this is a beautiful fragrance that features a note of honey, man. This stuff is so good. Oh, man. Performance is nuclear, so watch the sprays. I don't care how cold it is. If cold cannot stand up to this fragrance right here. So again, something that's really sexy, that's intoxicating, that definitely stands up to the cold weather. This one comes from the house of by Kilian, and this one is called Back to Black. All right, guys, that's it. That's my time, man. I hope you enjoyed this list today. I gave you 5 sexy, intoxicating fragrances that will cut through the cold weather. As always, I sincerely appreciate your time and your attention to this video. Of course, you could have been anywhere else in the world, but you took a few moments to watch, and I don't take that for granted. I sincerely appreciate that. Now, make sure, guys, don't forget you like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you are sharing these videos out to some other folks that you think could use this information or find it entertaining. Because I'm your guy, Darian, the Bowtie Fragrance Guy. I love to look good, and of course, I love to smell amazing. So until next time, guys, keep looking good, keep smelling even better. I'll catch you on the flip side.